Hi, Rich. Thanks for helping my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm Rich Ingleby. I'm from York. I currently live in York. I've lived in York pretty much all my life. Um, I I work for Anaplan with Nathan Price in the level three support team. Outside of work, coronavirus is currently taking effect. But I used to be an outdoorsy type person, walking, um, and I enjoy sports, mainly probably watching now, but I used to enjoy playing a lot of sports when I was younger as well.
And you enjoy predicting the outcome of sports too.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, quite like something like horse racing is a popular pastime. I live like uh, probably about. I reckon I could throw a cricket ball or something and hit the race course from my house. So I live very close to it, and yeah, you will often find me down there on a when the races are on, which is
Uh,
fun.
and um, are there particular sports you like to play though? I mean, do you play sports?
Yeah, well, so in the past, I've played cricket was probably my main sport. Um, I used to play that, so I grew like my dad played cricket, so I grew up playing cricket from like four when my dad's team were like very short. I would just kind of stand on the field, just not really doing much, and I played that until I was probably around. I don't know, it's hard to say really, but probably around like 23-ish. And then like work got in the way. I had a job. So I used to work behind a bar. I was yeah, just a barman and used to have to work weekends and so that used to take cricket. That went cricket was out of the equation really. And then kind of when I finished doing that, got back into it a bit, but the problem with cricket is it's a long game. It's all Saturday. And so it was tricky to actually kind of to commit to it. So that kind of fell by the wayside, unfortunately. But yeah, I used to play cricket a lot. I still play squash, not in a team or anything though. That's just socially, but we do try to play. We play once a week usually. But in the past, I've played like 4 or 5 times a week. I used to really enjoy squash, but yeah, never in a team. And then yeah, snooker is probably my main sport that I watch. I really enjoy watching snooker. I don't tend to. It's a really hard game, like very frustrating. So if I do play like a cue sport, I quite like American pool or nine ball is probably my favorite. And then I like English pool as well. Um, I like football. Not my main sport. I like American football. It's probably one of my favorite sports to watch as well. Is American football, but I've just got rid of like my Sky Sports, so I actually haven't hardly. I think I've watched one game this season, so I don't really know what's going on with that. And it's tricky because I didn't really grow up with it. Um, you feel like yeah, you forget stuff easily. So like you don't like you haven't grown up around the teams and stuff. So I only got into it now in the last 5 years or so. And I really enjoyed it, but yeah, I've forgotten all of that kind of stuff. I'd love to kind of watch it again next season. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Well, no, I like most sports to be honest. And F1. That's probably one of my main sports as well. But that's our F1 season. Um, well, yeah, if you put a sport on, I can generally get into it. It doesn't matter what it is. I just find it. I don't know. I just find myself watching it and enjoying it.
That's really amazing. I didn't realize you played squash. I used to play squash, just recreationally when we lived up north for a year, and I didn't realize there's courts in York.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some not too far from the office. Um, when I was at uni, or even before, me and Justin used to play quite a bit, and then when I joined Anaplan, me and Justin, we sometimes went down on a lunchtime. But turns out there was also uh, at least two other people that we also used to go down with on a lunchtime, but they both left. So it didn't go down with them in the end. But yeah, we used to go down on the lunchtime sometimes and play squash. And I think there's quite a few courts around, to be honest. I know there's some at the university that played at. There's another place that we play at. Yeah, I think there's at least 4 places in York where there's squash courts. And there's probably more.
That's amazing. Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts to the moon again for the first time since 1972?
I only because you've told me. So I think I don't know how we were talking about it. But obviously, you're kind of like you like space and stuff. I think we were talking about it once before, and I think you told me about this project that you were doing, and yeah, I didn't know about it until then, and I wouldn't have known about it if you hadn't told me.
What do you think about that? About us sending people back to the moon?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I mean, I didn't know that we weren't sending people to the moon already. Like that was when you told me that, my first thought was like, well, what do you mean we're sending people back to the moon for the first? Like I thought like to me, once you've done something once, that's like the hard part, and then you kind of just keep doing that thing and keep improving on that. And I just imagined it was like a conveyor belt of people going backwards and forwards to the moon. I didn't realize that. I mean, not obviously all the time, like no, but like I thought it would be quite a common thing that was happening. If you wanted to send someone to the moon, then you could do. So I was quite surprised that we weren't already sending. But then I think I do remember that like America cut funding to NASA or something and things like that. So, but I was surprised that we were doing it. Like to me, it's I don't know, like space exploration seems like quite an important event. Like I'd have thought that there would be funding for that to happen. So I'm quite sad that this is the first time since 1972 that we're only just sending people. Is how I feel about it.
It's kind of interesting. So there were 6 landings on the moon. Each contained 2 people. So there's 12 people that have actually walked on the moon. None of them walked twice, but 12 people. And I think now there's only like maybe 4 of them that are still alive.
Yeah. And my uncle's met Neil Armstrong.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I think he was in York at the train station. My uncle works at the train station. So he gets to meet a lot of famous people. Like it seems like it's quite a good way to actually see famous people. Yeah. So I think Neil Armstrong, I don't know what he was doing here in York, but he was, and my uncle met him.
I know after they came back from that first landing in 1969, they went on a world tour. So I wonder what was part of that.
Possibly. I feel like it was more recent than that. I feel like it was, but he's been dead, what, 6 years?
It's been a while, yeah.
6 years. But it's a colour photograph. I don't know when colour photographs were written, but it doesn't feel like it was an old one. I'll see if I can dig it out and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I feel like color photographs been around at least early 80s, late 70s. So
okay. Yeah, we know that, right? I will message him though and ask him if he's got it.
Well, I mean, like whenever you think about the future of humanity, what does it look like to you? Like 100 years, 200 years, 300 years from now, do you see humans mainly still on the earth, or do you think we've actually like branched out and there's like humans all over the place? Like, what does it look like?
Good question. So like, I mean, 100 years from now, I mean, it'll be quite different, but we'll still be well on Earth, like without much chance of going anywhere else. I mean, I think they need to solve global warming, like, and see how that goes. Like, they need to somehow. I'm not too into it, to be honest, but they need to somehow, from what I understand, they need to find a way to reverse the effects, because even with our current targets, we're going to completely kind of like smash the ozone layer and stuff needed there. So we need to find a way to fix that. And then if we don't find a way to fix that, I think we're all dead anyway. Because I don't see that we'll be able to create enough technology to send people to a different planet and actually live there. Like if we don't have the technology to fix the environmental issues, I don't think we'll have the technology to move to a different planet. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. But let's think positively and think that they do find ways to fix that. Yeah, I think. I mean, there will be. I do worry. I do worry that for when we go to another planet, like whose planet is it? Like, is it whoever lands there first? So let's not say there's aliens or anything, but if it's who lands there first, so like America lands there first, is that their planet, or Russia or whoever? And then I'm quite negative to be honest. Actually, I didn't realize I was, but yeah, like it's probably just going to cause another argument around the world. And there's no like, I know we've got like the United Nations, but there's no world police really. So who decides who has what, and could just cause conflict. But hopefully we can overcome that. And then yeah, if there's a need, I think it all depends if there's a need to. Like if we need, like if we don't need to send people to another planet, then there won't be so much of a rush to kind of get that done. But if for some reason we know that there's going to be a problem with Earth, well, like say, I don't even know what a realistic timeline is, but let's just say like 200 years time or whatever. We know that for some reason that we need to, like the Earth's gonna we can't live on it anymore. Then I think 200 years is too soon. I know, like with technology, it's obviously things are just increasing. Like the stuff at which we can do things now is increasing, and it's only ever going to get quicker. So it's hard to imagine how quick that is. But 200 years doesn't seem long enough. How far we are currently from living on another planet, or even like going to another planet. I would say that 500 years is like optimistic, but possible, doable. If like, I mean, I still don't really feel that's possible. But like, what I'm trying to factor in is how quick we can improve things and how much quicker it's going to get. The technology and the advancements and stuff like that is going to go. So yeah, might be possible one day. I mean, I definitely feel like it will be possible one day. I don't feel like there's much that isn't possible. Like if you're given enough time, not me personally, but like clever people, if they're given enough time, they seem to be able to figure anything out. So yeah, I imagine it will be possible. Just depends whether Earth's around long enough for us to kind of develop that technology. And it's not just kind of natural disasters that could obviously get rid of Earth. Like we could just all kill each other, or not even kill each other. I mean, you only need to wipe out so much and kind of back to square one, aren't you? So yeah, given enough time, I think there will be. I still don't understand how we travel from one planet to another, because like, I mean, there's no planet in our solar system that's suitable. So you need to find a planet that's suitable, and they say the universe is infinite, so there must be a planet out there. But how do we get there? We don't even know if these planets exist, because even if you like to find a planet that's suitable, like I don't even know how many planets you have to look at, like a gazillion planets, like so many to find one that's actually suitable for us to live on. Like, and when I say suitable for us to live on, I mean us to go there and immediately kind of like be able to walk around and stuff, like, and have a thingy, like it needs to have an atmosphere and everything like that. I mean, we could probably develop that if advance. Oh, so maybe we could go to, maybe, I mean, what's the point? I don't know. What was the question?
I do see humanity spreading beyond the Earth in the future, but
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I mean, it takes hundreds of years to get there. It's like it's really effectively irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, because you wouldn't surely like it, yeah, surely we wouldn't unless we needed to. So if we needed to, we probably would need to kind of like move everybody, and surely putting everybody in. Like I imagine, because humans are just kind of like what, atoms or whatever. Like everyone's built up. Surely in the future we could probably kind of like clone ourselves. Like if the advancements in technology, we could clone ourselves quite easily. Like just copy everything in me and make it over here. So whether that's, I mean, that's obviously not soon. But even then, like even traveling at the speed of light, it might take a long time to get there. Like so, and they say that like nothing can travel faster than that. So, so yeah, what is the point? I don't know.
If you had a clone, so this is just a theoretical question. If you had a clone who thought and knew everything that you did, do you think you would disagree or agree with your clone more often than not?
Oh no, I would hate my clone. I think Jesus. Yeah, if a clone, well, they would know everything that I know. Yeah, so we would start from the same position, but then we would kind of branch. It would just, I think, similar to identical twins. We would look the same, but we would be different in some respects. Yeah, because we would be different. So we wouldn't know the same stuff for too long. But I imagine, yeah, if I met me, I would not like me.
Well, luckily you're not surrounded by clones, but by other people who do like you. So
yeah.
now I mean, your fascination with sports is not unique to you. I would say that sports is probably one of the major interests of people all around the world, regardless of economic situation or education or nationality or culture. It seems like that in every culture that sports, this idea of having either individuals or teams of individuals, sort of having some type of competition against each other is extremely exciting and interesting. Space, on the other hand, and science, not so much. They kind of an interest for a few seconds and then on to the next thing. And I was thinking the obvious solution is to have sports in space. And if you were to design sports to be played in free fall where people are weightless, what kind of sports would you want to see there?
High jump. Yeah, I don't know. What sports do I want to see in space? Oh. I'm trying to like think. Do you mean on a planet or just in kind of in the middle of nowhere?
Well, either. I mean, obviously, on the planet, you'll still have gravity, but it may be different. Like on the moon, it's 1/6 of what it is on Earth. So if you weigh like, I guess 60 kilograms, you'll weigh like 10 kilograms instead. And then on the Mars, it's 1/3. So you still weigh like 20 kilograms. But in orbit, you're weightless because of your kind of constantly falling towards the planet. That offers the potential of not weighing anything, and a whole different way of looking at things. No up, no down. Um, you could
Yeah.
do a lot of. I mean, you could do anything.
You could do. Yeah. They're not sports you could play though. I mean, there definitely is sports. Don't get me wrong. I I like following sports, but I'm not really good at coming up with sports. I find anything. I mean, I find anything entertaining. I think anything where someone's kind of like trying. So even like cooking programs. I don't really like cooking programs where it's just somebody's cooking. I like cooking programs if it's a competition, so like one person against the other, or even like so we got a show in England like it's called Strictly Come Dancing, where you get celebrities and they've all got to dance, like, and you got to see who's best. Like I like that as well. Like I like anything where someone's competing against each other. So we could have like space rockets, seeing which space, like what do you call them? Drag cars, drag racing. You like drag
Okay.
racing in
Yeah.
space for rockets. I don't know what people sports are. But they're definitely whatever you come up with, I'm sure I like. But I can't think of any myself.
That'd be interesting. Well, if it was safe and affordable, would you take a trip to space?
Depends where to. I mean, I'm quite lazy, so unless yeah, I mean, I like views and stuff, but my laziness is more like overtakes that. I'd rather kind of like just sit on the sofa and watch TV. Like if I'm doing it with people or someone, like yeah, it'd be a good group activity maybe to go to space. But I don't think so. Not unless if I was going to maybe another planet or something, that might be quite interesting. But I wouldn't have any. I don't have any desire at the moment to kind of sit in a spaceship or whatever and go to space and then come back. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, if there was a few of us doing it, I would probably do it. I imagine there's some fun parts, like I imagine like the G's are crazy when you're kind of like setting off and coming back and all of that kind of experience. So yeah, I mean, I'd be interested, but I probably wouldn't do it.
Um, well, I guess what's like the farthest trip you've taken?
I've been to Australia. I think is probably the furthest. Although San Fran's quite far. But I've been a few places. I've been to Thailand like 6 times, and Singapore. Been to well, I think Australia is the furthest.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Rich, I know we've talked about a lot of things. I was wondering if there's anything else that you wanted to cover, or if you had any questions for me.
I didn't prepare any questions, but what are your thoughts on we're only just sending people to the moon for the first time since 1972?
I mean, I'm kind of with you in the sense that it's really surprising it's been so long, and I think it's good to finally be doing it again. What's the value out of it is often a question that we get asked, but I think there's an intrinsic value to constantly pushing the physical limits of the volume of space that humanity occupies. That there's actually it'd be good to see the bubble of humanity grow beyond the Earth to include the moon and Mars and maybe other things as well. So I'm really excited about that. I feel like it's either we could be focused on splitting up the things we have on the Earth and kind of like intrinsically focused, or we could be outwardly focused. And whenever you're outwardly focused, you have like the entire universe to look at. And maybe it helps to put into perspective some of our kind of petty differences we have down here.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, like I see it as like necessary as well. Like, I mean, it's definitely interesting, and I would like I think you said there about like many people like sports, but not space so much. Like, I mean, for me, when people talk about space, like instantly I'm excited. Like that's like when you talk about it, like first of all, I'm like, oh yeah, I love space. It's interesting, exciting. But the problem with it is it's too confusing, like too complicated. Like sport, you can just pick it up, and there's like a small finite amount of things that you need to know to be able to kind of do that. But with space, like I'd like to know kind of. I probably want to keep diving into it and being like, oh, what's this? And then you just don't have the time for something like that. But I mean, if I was in a job like that, then yeah, I'd massively find it really kind of like, I'd love to kind of like dive into it and give you the opportunity because you'd actually be able to kind of like spend the time doing it. And I see it as necessary because like, I mean, anything, like there could be an asteroid coming to hit Earth or whatever, and we need to know about it. We need to know what we're going to do about it, right? Like that's like surely one of the big reasons why we need to be learning about this kind of stuff. But also like I don't know, I feel like somehow like I mean maybe it's not relevant, but I feel like we're always trying to understand more about like how did we get here, why are we here, and I feel like at the end of it, like it's more than just an interest. I feel like it's quite important to know like how it all happened, how it all came about. And it's maybe not a reason, I don't know, maybe there are reasons why that people know why it's important. But for me, like I don't know why that's important, but I just feel like it is. So, and I feel like that all of like what NASA do, like and space exploration in general, yeah, I think it's all kind of, it needs to be done. Like, and what's the point to a lot of things? I mean, what's the point on playing sports? Like, I mean, everyone's got stuff that they want to do. So I don't see it as like, I don't see why anyone's against it, to be honest. Well, everyone's got their reasons, I guess.
I mean, some people's reasons are, it's very expensive, and then they see this other area that they'd like to have more investment in, like climate change or poverty or social justice or these things, and they see it as sort of misspending, and that they want to redirect towards what their priorities, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. But again, I don't really buy like. I mean, the people like I say, I mean, sports. You could say that spends a lot of money. I suppose it does bring a lot of people enjoyment, but so does space exploration. Like, I mean, no one's ever going to be completely happy, are they, with what you do? So I don't see it as, and I feel like it's definitely necessary. So yeah, I have no problems with it.
Well, Rich, I really appreciate your time and for participating in my project, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Yes, you too. Yeah. Oh man, not looking forward to you leaving Anaplan. But all the best.
I hope you come to Houston sometime and let me give you a tour.
Yes, that would be epic. I do actually want to go back to America for a touristy type visit with one of my friends. So hopefully can look you up then, and yeah, you can give us a tour. That'd be brilliant.
That'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Cool.
Well, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.